gap year myself, so I understand what that's all about. Options, because there's many options out there. You know, you will always remember this day. Always remember this day. You may receive other degrees, other graduation ceremonies. You will always remember this day. When you graduate from high school in Valdez, it is a very special, special day. And if I can remember as well as I do from 50 years ago this month, I know you will as well, and you should, because Valdez is a very, very special place to graduate from. So I'm very pleased to be part of this. I'm not a bucket list kind of person. If I want to bungee jump, I bungee jump. If I want to ski Arctic Man up in the Hoodoo Mountains, I ski Arctic Man in the Hoodoo Mountains. If I had a bucket list, this would have been on the bucket list. To be able to speak at a graduating class in the school which I grew up in and graduated from. It's an honor, such an honor to be part of allowing me, the letter you wrote me went a lot. Really, I'm just sort of overwhelmed with memories of my years as a Valdez High School student and the elementary school, and things were different then. You are a very unique class. You're a very unique class for a couple of reasons. One is that you are Alaskans. Alaskans are very unique. Anywhere you travel in the world, and when they say, where are you from? If you say Alaska, it sparks a conversation, it sparks an interest. And then when you say you're from Valdez, it's even more so. So you're unique, not just as the Alaskan, but being from Valdez, Alaska. You will find that over here, and as you apply for different job applications, different universities, different things, the fact you're from Valdez, Alaska is going to be noted. And you are going to be pleased with the reception, the response that you receive from that. You know, I met about a year ago the captain of the Danny J, who runs between Homer and Halibut Cove, Cillian's daughter, Marion Beck. She explained when she went to college, she went to Oregon State, they were off going someplace for a concert, about 8 of them piled into a car. She was the only one from Alaska, and they're driving along, and they got a flat tire. And they didn't really know each other very well. They'd only been there a couple of weeks. And everybody was going through their wallets trying to get some sort of card out. And so she quietly slipped out. And all of a sudden, the car was moving around. What's going on? Marion changed a tire. That's what Alaskans do. We get it done. And so they were just amazed that anybody knew how to change a tire. I know that many of you have changed tires. I hope you have, and will continue to do that. But, you know, I've always said Alaska does not have, a 1-800 number for everything. You have to fix it yourself. And they were just amazed that she knew how to change a tire. Your class of 2019, has an interesting connection with the class of 1969. We were the first class that as a freshman class, that went to the George W. Gilson, then high school. And you're the last class, the junior high, that attended that school. So we're actually perfect bookends, which proves a couple of things. Buildings last 50 years, we know that, and that a good education has taken place throughout that process. I remember well when we moved into that school in the old town of Valdez after the earthquake. We started the next year in '65 in the old town, and we knew we were moving to the new town into this brand new building. And so we knew what day we were moving in, and no preparation, no nothing. All of a sudden, on the Friday before we were to start school in the new school, over the intercom, they said, classroom such and such, everybody pick up the desk you're sitting in, walk down the hall in the back of Bill Umfer or Vic Umfer's 40-foot van, and put your desk in the van. That's how we moved to school. We didn't have a moving company come in. We were the moving company. We kept waiting for the people to come in and move us. We did that ourselves. So we get over here on Monday. That was on Friday. On Monday, we're excited about this new school, and we had a superintendent by the name of H.O. Red Williams. He was a kind of interesting fellow. He said, everybody has to take off your shoes when you come into the school. Well, we did. We never had anything new before. So coming in wasn't the problem. Going home was the problem. You didn't always end up with a matched pair going home, but that's okay. You're going to come back the next day. We only had one pair of shoes anyway. You can come back the next day. But we spent the first month without any shoes in that building. And so it was some things you just don't forget. We also came to school on a tide table because the road over here to the new town was being built, and the old road was about 6 feet lower than the road we drive on now. So you had to sit there and wait for the tide to come in or go out or whichever the case may be. You was waiting for, in order to get back and forth to school. Boots and Dorothy Clifton were our bus drivers, and that was just part of our, you just had to read the tide book and know what the school schedule was going to be. I thought about what I was thinking about when 50 years ago when I was sitting where you were sort of over there in a building that doesn't exist anymore. I was thinking about what I was going to do. I was thinking about, we had no money to go to college. I had a third grade school teacher had offered me a place to live in their home. I could go to a place called Treasure Valley Community College in Eastern Oregon, and I got a $400 basketball scholarship. It was the worst $400 that school had ever spent, and they realized that soon after I got there. But I took everything I could possibly get, and I had no idea what my future was going to be. I had no idea that I was going to make it through school. I had no idea I was going to be able to come back to Alaska. I certainly had no idea I was going to ever be able to stand here and speak to you tonight and congratulate you on your great accomplishment. In my first year as governor, every time I spoke in Cordova, Seward, Delta, Glen Allen, I'd always start off by saying, okay, let's get this out of the way. I'm a Buccaneer. It's not that I was a Buccaneer. I am a Buccaneer. I'm a Buccaneer as much today as I was 50 years ago. So things kind of got a little bit better after that. But it was that you come back to celebrate that you graduated from Valdez High School.